It's time to show who's king with Tony Wheel Warlock. The idea behind this is we're going to be using Wheel to instantly destroy our opponent after 5 turns. This requires us to destroy our own deck, so we're going to be refilling our deck with things like Tony, Sympathy, or Fizzle. We are going to also be relying on sketch artists as a guaranteed way to draw into Wheel, so we can draw it quicker, essentially giving us 3 copies instead of 1 copy within the list. And we are also going to be using a bunch of AoE board clears in order to prevent our opponent from winning out the game through things like Reno. Now for the Mulligan guide. First thing to look out for is sketch artists. This will allow you to instantly draw into Wheel on turn 3. Outside of this, you're going to be looking for the fatigue package, such as Crescendo, as early game removal tools. On top of this, you're going to be looking for other types of draw powers, such as FRACKEN, which will allow you to search the bottom of your deck for key important combo pieces. Now, with that all being said, let's look at some games. I know Tendril Warrior is floating around. I almost made a Tendril Warlock list, and then I was like, there's no way to get additional. I mean, okay, the Tendril Tender is actually probably the best Tendril generating card. The problem is making it survive long enough. And I did do a Tendril Warlock list before the rotation, but it should be better now. It's something that I want to play around with in the future. I don't know if it's going to be in the nearby future. It's on the radar, I guess. There's safety goggles, armor vendor. Okay, Fizzle isn't bad. Okay, let's just draw a card. More Crescendo. That's good, I guess. Not right now, but for later on. Oh, that is not bad. Honestly, hand doesn't look that bad. Wait, no, please, no, please, don't burn Wheel, please.
Let's warm you up.
So we could use Hellfire next turn. We could also use the 2 Crescendos, which is honestly probably the worst option, but we could. Also, I just realized this deck does allow me to use Popcar again. And I have a signature, so I might as well use him as much as humanly possible, right? Let's slam this down. And then just hope we draw into something. I know we had the removal. I just want them to overextend a little bit more before we use the removal. And I also want to drop below 30 HP just so we can actually heal. I want to play smarter, I guess. Okay, getting rid of everything here, slamming down the second one of these. Hopefully they don't have Reno. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. Slam this down. This grabs us our Wheel. We don't have to worry about burning anything anymore because for some reason I cannot keep less than 10 cards in hand. It doesn't matter how I do this. Actually, this doesn't burn a card because we don't draw a card. I don't know if that's better or worse in the long run, but we'll see. Okay, Dirty Rat. Oh, Fizzle would have been so nice next turn. Oh, we could have slammed down Fizzle. Okay, look. Actually, I shouldn't say next turn, but we could have slammed down Fizzle after the Wheel. And then had basically 4 Crescendos and 2 Popcars. That would have done a lot of damage. Just gonna draw another card. Okay, that's fine. That actually works a little bit. Taking a little bit of fatigue damage. We could use the other charge just to slam down another minion. But this should be fine. I can't... Well, a few options. We're not super low. Depending on actually what we top deck here. Okay, does that change everything? Technically speaking, it does. That's also such a beautiful animation, by the way. I also really thought about putting him on as like the main art of the thumbnail, but then I was like, well, what does The difference between our version of the list and the stereotypical list is Tony. So it would be a shame if I didn't use Tony instead, even if I wanted to use Fanottem. Turns out Fanottem isn't that good when you have a sanitize in a rotation. I'm very curious of what they're trying to grab with ETC. Steam Cleaner doesn't exist anymore, my friend. Oh, well, do I care about that card? No, not really. Just trying to make sure we don't burn a card and then draw as much as we can. The thing I'm really looking for is Sympathy, or whatever it is called. I know I'm butchering the card's name. I get it. Before people leave comments. Actually, please do it. I don't care either way. Okay, so it is Tendril. That is a funny card to get off of ETC, though. I will say that. I will freely admit that's a funny card to choose off of ETC. I guess you're running a copy in ETC because of brand, yeah. And you don't want to heavily rely on a bunch of different draw power in order to get rid of all the duplicates in your list. I understand it. I still think it's a little bit dumb, but I understand it. Okay. Now we actually have a reason to spin that wheel. We could also, nah. Also, we froze. Actually, never mind. We didn't freeze the wrong thing. That probably there was a little bit of waste. We probably should have used that on like a Sargeras later. Okay, there's Eye of Chaos. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like how we would make Tendril Warlock work. Well, of course, tenders would be your way to do it, but you'd have to find ways to get additional tenders on board. I guess Cover Artist, which feels really, really bad because it's a 3 cost and a 4 cost. Because tenders have no tribal tag, so you can't cheat them out with like demon stuff. But in theory, it is infinite tendrils if you can get them to live, right? It has to be Cover Artist. Oh boy, this we could use Reno, or I think Reno has to be what we use. We could also use Sargeras too. Sargeras would also work, but I think Reno is just the better solution for now because it gets rid of the death rattles without having to worry about them. Okay, refresh 2 mana crystal, sure, why not? I mean, we don't need the extra damage. Also, I will say this, I have played this deck a bit, especially in this matchup where I saved Reno for like 1 more turn than I should have, and it bit me so hard in the butt that it wasn't even funny. Because it turns out, if your opponent doesn't have that much extra space on their board, they can't try to RNG their way to victory once they get to the 10 cost Tendril, right? Well, I will say this. We literally just have to survive like 2 additional turns. We can use... Okay, how many cards do they have left in list? What we really, really want to see here would be destroy 6 from the top of their deck and then shuffle all the cards into our deck. We can also use Popgar plus the 2 Crescendos too to do a bit of damage. Okay. 6/6 is actually as many bodies as we humanly can get on the board is the underlining trick of the matter here.
Fascinating.
Heal for 8, heal for 5, trying to do a little bit of extra damage. Okay, so we need to survive 3 turns, which is not the easiest thing said or done in this position. Whoa! Oh! Oh, please hit the... Oh. Okay, so Sargeras first. Because Sargeras will wipe everything out on the board without having to worry about death rattles. And then we just survive 1 additional turn with 20 HP against a deck that historically can do a bunch of damage. Or they're just going to AoE themselves. Bergaris to gobble up the team. Or the board, I mean. Pass it back, and then we just got one more turn to live. We got 18 HP on board and 17 HP on hero. Oh, Geppetto. Okay, there's tabletop. I guess Tendril... I might actually try Tendril Warlock. I don't know. Remembering that Geppetto is a card makes me wanna maybe try that out. And it is time for the wheel to be finished. Goodbye, Mr. Warrior. Okay, time for a game against Paladin. Let's see what they have in store for us. I know Paladin isn't as strong as it was before the nerfs, but I also haven't played Hearthstone since the nerfs actually happened, so we'll see how this one turns out. I'm assuming that this deck will be a lot stronger than it was last week when I was able to still play Hearthstone before I went on a little bit of vacation. Also, we're just going to slam down Heart because not a lot of classes are going to be running weapon removal right now. I know there are a lot of classes that are actually using weapons, so that is kind of a bit of a weird thought to actually think about why people don't, but you never know, right? Sketch charges is actually really good for us. Crescendo is good for us too, but yeah, sketch charges makes our life so much easier. Also, apologies for last week's videos. I was really trying to make sure I had the videos prepped for this week, or when I went on vacation, and I was not expecting balancing changes, to be honest. Probably really shouldn't be distracted with side notes here and there, right? Let's put down Craze Conductor. So we do have a way to deal with this board. It's gonna look really bad, I will say that. Actually, never mind. I was thinking about doing something different. I think this is actually just a better way to do what I wanted to do. Gets rid of all the minions, draws us more cards to cycle through the deck, trying to turn on Reno as quickly as possible. I really want to show off Tony. That is the main purpose of this list. I know that isn't like probably the best idea, but you know, sometimes there's cards that I just really want to use. And Tony falls into that category a lot of the time. Call for Arrow is also another card that I haven't used yet. Geppetto also would be something that could be fun. There was another Warlock list that I was coming up with, but I promised someone on stream before I left I was going to try to do Wheel of Death as soon as possible, and I really wanted to showcase this because why not? I haven't seen this exact variant of this deck before. I don't think, at least. I could be wrong. I'm also like a week disconnected from anything that was happening in Hearthstone, to be fair. All I know is I heard Demon Hunter is on top, and I'm happy that I made that deck in day one. But anywho, let's use Gul'dan's Gift number 2. Gul'dan's Gift was, in theory, my way of getting around the deck building restriction of sketch artists, because I didn't want any additional shadow spells, right? Feels so nice that I don't have to worry about the Wind Fury on that anymore. Feels so nice. It's a shame for Shaman, though. I will say that. Though, also, the Shaman list that I put out actually still completely functions, weirdly enough. You probably would want to swap out the Shroomifications for Dig Straight Down, but besides that, it works pretty well. I am worrying about those big buff minions in their hand. We're just gonna gobble up all their minions. We should have attacked there first, but that's still fine. Oh, what? At least it doesn't deal with the portal, right? I don't know. There's a bunch of other Warlock lists that we might be able to try. I wanted to do something with Doom Guard. I was about to say Doom Charger. It isn't Doom Charger. Yeah, it's Guard. We needed one more mana for that to actually work how I wanted it to work, but we're might going to do what... I don't want to do it, but I've already committed. Okay. We can deal with that still. I'm trying to think of like what Paladin list I'd even want to try at this point. There has to be something that's fun for Paladin that could be cool. Right? I also get why Shroomcation was the thing that got hit. It makes a lot of sense. It's the older card, so you hit the older card, not the newer card first. They also did hit the plushie, I think, too. I don't know. Again, like I said, I'm a week behind when it comes to balancing changes, and because of that, I don't remember exactly everything that got changed or didn't get changed, right? For example, I forgot Aftershocks was changed. I replied to a comment like almost a week late, but you know, it is what it is. I was like, oh, right, Aftershocks is now 5, so yeah, I'll probably change that for Lightning Storm. All right, going to grab Tony. Not really what we want to grab. We have actually basically everything in hand that we would really need. That is a big righteous protector. Okay, let's use Wheel because we do already have Virtuoso. We had one more mana. I thought about running Audio Amplifier in this deck, but I felt like it would have just been a dead card, right? Yeah, I'm gonna slam down the 15-15. If they have something, they have something. Hopefully they don't have something. Honestly, maybe I wouldn't have mind taking a little bit of fatigue damage. We're at full HP. That might have actually been a mistake, thinking about it. Hopefully it isn't in the long run, but you never know. Okay, more buffs in hand. And of course we get punished. Always punished. Every time. Wait. Yeah. We're taking the fatigue damage either way. I think we use Reno. Reno looks worse, but at least it gets rid of Amidus, and then we will be taking the fatigue damage again, but it does prevent them from slamming down a bunch of minions. I think there's a pretty high likely chance of us just slamming down Tony next turn, just because I really kind of want to show off Tony. 6 damage does hurt. It really does hurt. Alright, let's get taking their deck. You know, actually, I will say this. The new ability of Tony is very much more in line with the modern definition of piracy compared to where it was before, right? Oh, no. Oh, that... Oh. Okay, how do we deal with that? We might have made the mistake there, trading incorrectly. Draw us something good. We also probably should have just... Oh, wait, no, we didn't have enough HP for the 6 damage. But this is good. Now we just gotta hope our opponent does not have another charge minion. Let's just hope they don't have anything here. We only have to survive one more turn, right? Come on. Don't have anything. Please. There's a few things. Horn of the Windlord would be really bad. I don't think they run South Seas deckhand anymore. Oh, that's a big minion. Well, good thing it doesn't have charge, because we should be fine, right? Pop one of them. Oh, a 6/6 is actually not bad. We could try to draw something. Anything? Nope, okay. Then, big boy taunt. That's it? Yeah, let's go. All right, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So, for this deck, I played 30 games. Across those 30 games, I won 20 of them with a 67% win rate. I will say this deck feels actually pretty decent. It has a lot of extra survivability tools that not a lot of people are going to be expecting. The only thing about this deck that is a little bit sus is the fact that you are using the fatigue package in order to have additional type of AoE board clears without running some shadow spells, but I wanted to use the deck building restriction of having sketch artists acting as 2 additional copies of Wheel, helping out the consistency factor of the list. Overall, I will say I had a lot of fun with this list, and if you're looking for something to have a lot of fun with, this is a great deck to try out, even if it might not be the strongest variant, just because Tony, while he is a lot of fun, is probably just a meme. But like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.